those kind words, and thank you to Kevin and all the staff and volunteers of both the Palestine Solidarity Campaign and Viva Palestina. Again, moved mountains, again worked miracles to put together a convoy bigger and more widely based than any that have gone so far towards Gaza. And I'll say a bit about that in a moment. We have here only a sample of the convoy. We would have liked to have brought the entire convoy here into central London, but that was not possible given the scale of it and the size of the vehicles. But we're here near Parliament Square for a purpose. The British Parliament is the scene of many crimes, but in particular, it is the scene of the crime against the Palestinian people. It's here in this building, to my left, where on behalf of one people, the British Foreign Secretary promised to a second people the land which belonged to a third people, and thus paved the way for almost a century of suffering for the Palestinian people. My point is that Britain has a heavy responsibility, both for the beginning of this tragedy and for its continuation down all these decades. And if we cannot expect, as I think we cannot, either this British government or the next to mend their ways, then we, the people of Britain, must try to do it for them. And I'm very proud of the response across the whole of this country, from all the communities, all the religions, all the backgrounds, that we have seen again in the putting together of this convoy. Once again, it's the poorest parts of Britain who have responded the best, which is, I think, a lesson in life that I learned a long time ago. Those that have money generally don't know what to do with it, they certainly aren't prepared to do good with it, and those who don't have money are prepared to work miracles to try and put together the kind of convoy that we have on the motorway later this morning in the early afternoon. It has been a remarkable effort. Hundreds of British people are being joined by dozens of people from Viva Palestina, Malaysia, which I went to Kuala Lumpur to found just a few weeks ago. And in that few weeks, they have gathered together £150,000, enough to pay for several ambulances and to fill them with medical aid. We're joined by Viva Palestina USA, which again has sent its contingent to London, and they're very welcome indeed. And they will pick up in Turkey, God willing, the vehicles which were not permitted to cross over into Gaza on the American convoy in July, but which will, we hope, finally reach Gaza on this occasion. We're being joined by people from Switzerland, from Scandinavia, from Germany, and when we reach Turkey, I expect our strength will virtually double. That means that we'll have, on the 27th of December, knocking on the door of Gaza, 200 vehicles from around the world on the Viva Palestina convoy, and we're very proud of that. I want to just say a word to the government of Egypt, whose permission, of course, we need if we are to open the gates at Rafah and cross into Gaza. We are not travelling to bear any kind of witness against you. We are not travelling to criticize you or undermine you or be involved in your internal politics in any way. To the Egyptian government, I say this: we come in peace, but we will not be stopped. We're coming to bring life to the Palestinian people in Gaza who are dying as a result of the siege. And it cannot be in anybody's interest for international attention on the 27th of December to be focused anywhere except on the Israeli war criminals who are imposing this siege and who launched this war. We don't want people asking why Egypt is not allowing this convoy through, We want people congratulating Egypt for the way in which it is ready to cooperate with those who are trying to bring this disaster to an end. The siege is the thing. All the journalists today asked me, how will this help? Well, it will help by bringing things that are desperately needed to the Palestinians who don't have them. And those who manage to get them, their lives will be affected for the better as a result. But of course, it's a drop in the ocean. All of our convoys are a drop in the sea of troubles that faces the Palestinian people. So the main value of efforts like this is symbolic, totemic, to remind the world that there's a siege going on. And why? Because the Palestinian people voted for a government that the Western powers and Israel didn't like. Well, if democracy means anything at all, it means the right of people to choose their own government and not have that government chosen for them by others, ill-wishers, and including those responsible for their suffering in the first place. So, we hope this effort sparks others. We want to see convoys, columns, heading every day for Gaza, because only when we have opened the doors of Rafah and ended the siege for good is there any possibility of normal life in the Gaza Strip. My last words are these. The suffering in Gaza is real. I myself have seen with my own eyes women and girls in the early morning mist scrambling over the garbage heaps in Gaza, and there are lots of garbage heaps in Gaza. Scrambling over those garbage heaps, looking for food to feed to their families that day. And I say to the Muslims of the world, just a few days after Eid al-Adha, when the sacrifices were made and when everyone feasted on goats and sheep and cows, the people in Gaza went hungry on the Eid, as they go hungry almost every day. It's time for those who consider themselves believers in God, who consider that they will themselves one day face a day of judgment, to stand up and bring this situation to an end. Thank you very much indeed for coming. God bless this convoy and all who travel in her.